Next time on Dragon Ball Cards. Can't wear the headphones because I hear myself when I'm doing that. Oh, hey everybody. It's Captain Dale Kelly, your favorite Purunga the Dragon, and Possessed Goku and Bulma, and the Frog. God, I gotta remember all this stuff.
Yeah.
And the guy, the voice of the show. How you doing? We're on Next Time on Dragon Ball Cards, our card channel. Is my friend Tony Sanders. Tony owns Funkomood in Midland, Odessa, and this is where we're going to be doing a lot of the episodes. And yes, I can't talk because it's been a long day, but we're still going to do this one and talk about the rest of the show. We're here with some friends who are hanging out with us. Say hi, friends. Woo, woo. There we go. I haven't got a camera on them, and now I'm looking at the monitor instead of looking at you. But don't worry, it gets confusing, but it won't be bad. Eventually, I'll have the monitor over there, so I'll look at it straight. Anyway, we're here today to open up some cards, and I'm going to switch. You're going to see me look over here every once in a while and switch channels. There, me and Tony are there, and also some of the cards that I'm bringing out. And Tony?
Yes, sir.
You want to tell us a little bit about these cards and how they ended up being the way they did?
So this is
like these are slabbed and graded, right?
slabs and graded. These are just raw single cards here.
Right. Now, how did these end up the way they did? Because we're going to go over a lot of this on the episodes of the show about grading and stuff, but just as an overview, what is this?
This is just a group of graded cards that has been processed through CGC. Some have been prestined. Some are just gem mint. This one has just been through Beckett. I mean, there's just different stages, different values.
Okay, but that's what we want to talk about. So, for example, these are all 10s. As
Correct.
you see, everybody.
Some are
Okay, we're going to
prestined.
hold some of these up to the camera. I got to see where the camera is. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 10. That's the highest grade you can get. Now, you send these into different companies, right? There's like, what, PSA and...
Yeah, CGC, Tag. There's some other smaller companies like Degree, Ace. There's some other ones like that.
And basically what they're looking for, frustratingly as this may be, is like nicks, cuts, scratches,
correct.
whether they're printed squarely or not,
Yeah.
which as far as I'm concerned is like, that's irritating as all hell.
I've opened them and they come right out of the pack and they have big crimps right across. So.
Yeah, well, there's a Vidal card that I've bitched about since I opened it. Because what I don't understand, and we're going to figure this out, guys. How do you open a pack of these with a pair of scissors, didn't rip it, didn't do anything to damage the card? You take it out and it's got a scratch in it. Where the hell did the scratch come from? Nobody's theoretically ever touched that card.
Except the machine.
And yet it's going to grade out as less than a 10.
Yeah,
you would think that everything, I think that's one of the misconceptions that I had, and I'm sure a lot of you people have out there about cards, is that when they come out of the pack, they're immediately 10s. And yeah, there's so many things these guys have showed me that are, no, that's not a 10. Matter of fact, I told one of our friends here that if I get this card and it comes back and it ain't a 10, I'm gonna punch him out. I'm just gonna reach across and punch it because I'd be so pissed.
I mean, it's all supply and demand. Everyone wants it printed. Now. I want it.
Well, you know,
So
one
they're
of the things, because Tony's a huge Pokemon guy too. The store, the Funkomood, has more Pokemon stuff than you know what to do with.
We got
Plus
a bunch of
Funkos and stuff.
pops and all kinds of other stuff.
But I do the Cards and More tour occasionally with Beard Dad and Coop. And one of the things Coop talked about that I never thought about was this. Pokemon is so big, because everybody complains they can't find Dragon Ball cards anywhere, right?
Correct.
Pokemon is so big that they literally take up all the printer time. And it takes like a year, I guess, to get in line to get stuff printed.
And certain manufacturers and stuff.
So, and I guess they bought a couple of actual printing companies over there.
They're making some more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I mean, you can't complain about Dragon Ball and Bandai if A, they can't get them printed, or B, they don't want to invest in the companies to do it.
Right.
But, we don't know. Tony's a dealer. He doesn't know why we can't get the cards like we do. I've tried to order figures too, other stuff from that, and like the big Shenron that they have, that big S&W that everybody tries to get, it's like $300.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've ordered that thing and it says, "Oh, it's coming," and yet it never shows up.
Just refund. Huh?
Yeah, you never see it. Never see it. So all right, so grading, like Tony said, you send it off to a company. First of all, you check it out, and that's the irritating part of it, is when these guys look at me and go, "Oh yeah, dude, that won't pass." And they'll show me, like these cards. You look at some of these cards right here, and to the naked eye and to you guys, like this one right here, Let me get it in front of the camera. I got to learn where this is.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Right there, that card, you would look at it and think it's gorgeous. It's a 10. And yet they won't even send it in grading because it's got some kind of a flaw. That's what drives you nuts.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, especially when they say that a graded card is 20, 30, 40 times worth.
Yeah. Depending on the card, and
and how many there are. That's another thing. Tell them about population. Because that's a big deal.
There's different population. Some people don't get some of these cards graded. Like I personally have, I think 6 Pop 1s, and they're not Dragon Ball, they're Pokemon.
Right, but still.
Nobody has them graded except me in the whole world. You know, it's just.
And so what are they worth?
Whatever I want.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to
the thing.
for.
But that's
I'm
also.
not selling them, they're mine.
It's not only whatever you want, it's whatever somebody will pay for it.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Like we were talking about a sports card earlier that is one of one with what it was Kobe and Michael Jordan on the card.
Yeah, it was a flip.
A flip card, 1-on-1. Guy's selling it for $1 million. Think about it, folks. It's a piece of paper with some ink on it. That's it. It's not the Mona Lisa, but even the Mona Lisa. It's just a piece of canvas with some ink on it.
Correct.
But to somebody out there who has that kind of disposable income, it's worth whatever they want. That's why that Goku, back to Dragon Ball, I haven't checked to see if that Goku card is still $28,000 or whatever it is, but that one-of-one gold Goku thing that guy pulled that was immediately $28,000, that's because he just decided, I guess, it was $28,000.
Right.
You know, nobody else did.
Yeah.
So, all right, so these all came back 10, that's the highest grade you can get, which means you could probably ask for the maximum for those cards. Yeah. But you still got to find somebody that wants to buy those particular cards.
In CGC, they have a pristine and then have a gem mint in. So there's a little bit of different levels.
Now, what's the difference between the 10 gem mint and the 10
there's just
pristine?
like a couple degrees off, and there's nothing, supposed to be absolutely nothing wrong with this card.
So that one could have the print thing off, because that's another thing that drives me.
Something, just keeping it away from pristine.
Look at the back of your cards. Didn't you say there's a template they actually sell for like Pokemon?
Oh yeah,
do they do for Dragon Ball too?
I mean, it's for cards. Period. You can
It
use
is
it for sports cards. It just you got to know how to do it.
But you can center it, and you can show whether the card has been actually printed center on center. Because another thing, some of these cards are pristine, and yet because they're printed off center, they don't count because that's a flaw.
Right.
I know because in my own game, I screwed up 2 cards by accident and printed the numbers on them in the wrong color, which now made those games collectibles.
Right.
Pisses me off because I did it, but they're still that way. So here's the difference. So that's the difference. It's why we laid these out to start with. Is you've got graded slab ones. These were inspected by 2 or 3 people and deemed worthy of actually taking the attempt. Because that's the other thing. It ain't free, is it?
No, it's not. Nothing in the world's free.
So tell them how kind of like the pricing goes for this. Because I know there's a different price depending on how fast you want it back.
Usually we send it in bulk. It's like 20 pieces at least at a time.
Right.
So it's going to be like 80 to 90 days. You know, it could be a long period.
Right.
Because it's going to be like $20 a piece. You know?
Yeah, but that's the cheap way. Now you can express them.
You can send one card and get it back in 2 days, but you're paying $300, $400 for that.
And if it's a $50 card or $60 card,
it's not worth it.
You just giving them a whole bunch of money for nothing.
Right. Unless you personally wanted to do it. If you personally want to do it, then great. That's good for you.
Now there's a difference in the companies too, right? Because didn't you tell me one of them now uses AI technology?
Oh yeah, they're Tag.
So Tag is the one that uses AI.
Yeah, we prefer Tag around here.
So how does that? Because see, me too. Because at the end of the day, humans are humans.
Yeah.
You know, you still got to think that someday somebody's having a bad day or a good day or something like that. You would think that the AI, because it at least takes all the guesswork out of it, it may irritate the hell out of you.
Right.
But still, at least you knew it was an honest look at your card, an honest evaluation. And if you get a 10, then I guess, now the customers and everybody's like happy because they know that it came through that.
Right.
Do you find the tags, does any one of them have more of a value than another? Say if you got the same card done in, say, 2 or 3 different companies.
Each one holds a different value. And I've seen Tag hold higher value than PSA, and I've seen PSA hold value than most everybody else.
Is there any particular card, because there's so many cards out there, is there any particular card that these guys specialize in? Like is one a sports guy and one's like a Because weren't you telling me the
It's just the
CGC
card
is like,
rarity too.
but isn't CGC like you guys prefer Dragon Ball to go there?
They do a lot more Dragon Ball, so they're more aware of Dragon Ball cards.
So they know all the stuff.
Correct.
Is it the same with other
Yeah.
companies, or
Yeah.
do they do
like Pokemon does, or PSA does a lot of Pokemon and sports and stuff because they do a lot of that. Tag does a lot of Pokemon and they do a lot of other stuff. They're just slowly getting into sports. Like this last couple, we sent hockey cards and some other stuff with it.
Really?
Yeah, customers drop it off and they're like, "Yeah, can we send it?" And
Because there's a market for
Yeah.
any kind of
right.
card,
So
any kind of collectible out there. I
Right.
mean, hence the Prungas and the Funkos that we all sell when we're out doing conventions and stuff like that. But all right, well, let's talk a second about all these cards, because the whole point of getting these is to open these in front of you guys and show them what it's up. But we're not doing that today because it'd take us forever.
correct.
We do have something very special we're going to open for you guys for this first episode that we're doing here at the store. But that'll be just a couple minutes. So let's talk a minute about all these and what potentially these could be and where they came from. Okay? So like this one, you know anything about this one? 'Cause we don't know a lot about these either. We're all trying to figure it out just like you guys.
I'm more into the FBs. I'm no more into the newer stuff than the older stuff.
Okay, so
personally.
we opened an one of these
Yeah.
threes a while back and
Yeah.
got with some okay
It was okay.
cards, but nothing really major. We did
Correct.
that at a convention with
Yeah.
the guys in the Texas Card Cartel.
Right, that's all.
Remember we
seated.
shot that on their website, had a couple hundred people watching
Yeah,
it.
correct.
What about the FB09?
This is one of the newer-ish ones.
Okay. And you told me this one, our buddy Daniel said that nothing has been reported out of this box
Yes, it's a newer version. It just barely came out, I guess. I didn't know about it either.
I didn't know
My
about it
lovely
either.
wife got it for us.
yet. Yeah, I didn't know about it either. Now, the ones on the bottom, before I go to the one that I want to talk about for a second, the ones on the bottom, some of those are Japanese, right?
The whole bottom row is Japanese, and it's from FBO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have 8. I have 9 and 10.
So we don't have 8,
Nope,
the only
I
one.
tried.
Man, isn't that a beautiful Shenron? So we're going to open up some Japanese cards because the thing is, I've talked to a couple of the guys we use as experts, and they talk about how the artwork is slightly different, and some of the characters you really like the Japanese cards on. But we wanted to see the difference because at the end of the day, this is about us learning together. Because
Right.
Tony's a Pokemon guy, but
Yeah.
he's not a Dragon Ball guy.
I know cards. but-
Yeah, you know cards.
Yeah.
I know well, I'd say I know Dragon Ball, and in reality, you guys all know more about it than I do.
Probably.
I just know how to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm good at like directing and doing this stuff. So anyway, this is the one we're all curious about. All right. I bought this one on the web. It was the first box I thought about getting. There it is. That's what it is. It's actually called The Masters Beyond Generations. Now, theoretically, how much is in this box?
I mean, there could be 8, 10 grand in there. Some of those
Yeah,
cards.
because there's specifically a God card that theoretically is worth 3,000.
Yeah.
Another one that's worth 1,800.
Yeah.
And a couple other ones that are worth something. So there's where I'm betting my kid's my kid's college education on pulling a card comes from. And it's also why we're going to pull them because, as I told these guys, I was at Collecticon in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago. And the owners of the show and some other guys got together and bought a $2,400 Pokemon box.
Yeah.
And they were just jazzed that they got it. They're out grabbing money here and there to give the guy. And it's a friend of theirs that's selling it to him, right? So the next day I saw the guys and I said, "So, man, what'd you pull?" Cody looked at me and says, "Nothing." Nothing? He said, "Yeah, nothing. But we had fun. We did it at dinner and we enjoyed doing it." Now, I know you guys, I'm sure you guys that are watching this are collectors and love that stuff. All I thought about is like, wow, that's 2 of my house payments. You know, of course, I live in Vegas. So for me, gambling, I have to admit, once I turned 21, gambling was no more fun because I used to do it on a fake ID. And once I turned 21, it was like, holy crap, I'm losing money. I could do something else with this money. But I couldn't believe that, dude. $2,400. And, you know, usually when I hear that story from you guys or somebody else, like, oh, I pulled this or I pulled that, you pulled something that's worth something. And the other thing that drives me nuts, and please don't do this, you guys, because we talk about this all the time, throwing away cards.
Oh, yeah. somebody always wanted some kid. Or
Tell them what you do with your bulk cards to help people out. In
People
the
make
Pokemon.
master sets or they build decks to play. I usually have everything that everybody needs. They come. I usually say, "Hey, you got that?" I pull a rabbit out of my hat. You know, I do it all the time.
He's got he'll just help them build their decks because there are people out there that play this game.
Well,
we haven't found anybody that plays Dragon Ball yet.
We're working on it. We got some little.
You got them sitting over here.
Decks,
yeah, here we got to show you this because turns out, see all these cards here, guys. It takes 51 cards to play Dragon Ball.
Yeah, we got
51. There's thousands sitting here. This is the game right there. I'm going to sell these at the conventions along with a signed card, and we're going to show you guys. We're going to actually learn how to play this with you guys on one of the episodes and show you how to play. Because we figure if you're going to collect them, you at least got to know how to play because you guys all know how to play Pokemon, right? Yeah. See, I don't even know how to play. I threw it on the floor.
Most of us do.
You guys play, and some of you guys play in tournaments.
Yeah.
There used to be Dragon Ball stuff, I want to say, back in the day.
We do Pokemon tournaments here.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. But we asked around, and everybody, oh, yeah, I collect them, but, yeah, I don't know how to play the game. I've never played the game before. So that, you know, and I tell these guys all the time, to me, Pokemon is basically they figured out a way to get around gambling laws because they're nothing more than scratchers.
Yeah.
And that's only I say that because I went to a show, I looked over, and there were vendors all around me. Guy sold a huge box of Pokemon cards, and I see it in the trash. And all of the envelopes are still in it. I'm thinking they're unopened. So I looked at the guys and said, hey, man, somebody threw this whole Pokemon thing away. They got all excited for about 30 seconds and then took the envelopes out, put them back in, threw it back in the trash. So, dude, weren't there cards in there? Oh, yeah, but nothing's worth anything. You know, to a 5-year-old kid, every single one of those cards is worth something. And that's why Tony and I, both of us, with his Pokemon and my Dragon Ball, all the common cards that we get, the bulk that people want, man, just come by the booth. I'll give you some for your kids.
Sure.
Because, I mean, they mean the world to little kids and stuff, and they get them started playing and collecting and shit like that, and you make their day, and it's better than throwing them away. Absolutely. Especially because there's – how many bulk cards do you think you have?
Oh, I don't even
hundreds of thousands.
Put a number on it. Probably close to 1 million.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The guy I met a guy who makes $500,000 a year on Whatnot selling cards and stuff, and he told me he has 200 and some odd thousand cards in his basement.
Yeah.
He gave Brian who was the original Vegeta. I told him he gave him a whole box of Vegetas of uncommons and rares. I asked him for Ginyus because I was Captain Ginyu. He had 3. Yeah. So I don't care what they say, they're not rare. Or they are rare, they're not common. So anyway, getting back to this box, it's supposed to have potentially a God card, a couple of other things in it. So we're going to do a special episode opening this one. So all of these you're going to be able to see, plus a lot more. We've got another one back here. There's that one. We got another Japanese one. We've got that Japanese one over there. And we're always on the lookout for cards too. So, but now, before we end the episode, because I think we've talked enough about this one, we're going to be doing some more later on. I managed to find these. All right? Take a good look. I've seen one of these open before, and it's amazing. These binders that have these special cards in them. And I managed to get a hold of 2 of them. So we're going to open them both up here. Tony, I'm going to give you one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take one. And you got your knife right there. So we'll split these open. These are called Dragon Ball Super Card Game Collector's Selection Volume 2. I wonder what Volume 1 actually looked like. Because I haven't seen Volume 1. My friend, I got to give Jason at Funkaholics a shout out and a thank you. He found these at a store in either Kingman or Lake Havasu City. And he found 3 of them. He kept one and I autographed it for him. And then I bought these 2 from him because I thought these would be really cool to show you something other than what they just come in a box in a pack, how some of the other cards look. And I try to be careful because even though it doesn't seem to matter, you take them out of the pack and they're still damaged. I actually opened those with scissors, guys, because I didn't want to rip them and actually rip the pack. I opened them with scissors. I was so careful. I pulled those out. Lo and behold, yeah, they were still damaged.
The new tape is something else.
Yeah, it is. All right. Look at that thing, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Isn't that cool? Ladies and gentlemen, there it is right there. Look at that baby. That is nuts.
The back is cool too.
Isn't it though? Yeah, take a look at the back too. All right. On the back, it's got top 5 voted booster card selection, top 5 voted PR card selection, top game designer selection, alternate art reprint selected by users voted, and the game designers. So, is there a?
Yeah, right there.
There we go. Okay, so you can actually peel it open like old record albums back in the day. So let's pull one of them. I think they're both the same.
Yeah, they are. I know.
So we'll leave that one closed and we'll pull this one open so we can show people. And I'll try to be careful and just open this up so that we can actually just keep it resealed, because these will be up for sale too if you want to grab them. There's that, and lo and behold, look at those cards. Here, I'll tell you what, let's lay it out this way because we got the camera set up that way. And guys, you can see all of those cards. Look at some of those things. You know, I swear to God, I've seen some of these. I swear I have seen some of these.
Maybe.
You know, dude, I don't know if they're the same.
These are cool.
You might want to open that one up because I swear I don't think they have the same cards. I think they have different cards because if you read the back, you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 20 some odd cards. And there's only 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So there's more. I think there's supposedly some super rares or some crazy ones in here. So you might want to go ahead and open that one up and we'll just take a look. But there again, ladies and gentlemen, there's all the different cards. I'll run it through there so you can see. There's that page right there. I'm looking at the camera trying to get that straight, so bear with me. Check that out right there.
I think they are the same.
Are they the same? Yeah. Let's take a look and see. Let's set that one down right there.
Yeah,
they are the same. Okay, so they're the same. So they got the same, the same cards. So that way also, you know, guys, if you see this out there, all right, I spent about 150 for them. They go for anywhere from 135 and to 165, depending on which ones they are. If anybody out there is watching the show and they have one of these and it has some different cards in it, by all means, drop a line, because, you know, this is YouTube. So you got the like, subscribe, and comments thing, and put everything in there for us. And we'd be glad to hear from you. Tony, give them your address and how to get a hold of you at Funkomood, because if anybody wants to get in touch with us, that would be the place to go.
You can find me on Facebook at Funkomood. It's 206 East 52nd, Odessa, Texas 79762. That's it.
Do you have the company phone number?
A1 432-254-7576.
Okay, so get a hold of Tony here. You can also leave a message and get a hold of me here, along with cyclesofwar.com with my game, and email Dale Kelly at Cycles of War. And we'll start, we're going to finish up this episode because I think we've covered enough. We don't want to drive you too crazy, but we hope you tune in to the next one where we're going to start opening up these cards. I have a feeling we're going to do probably one of these first.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go ahead and just dive right onto the green one, because at the end of the day, it's driving me nuts that I don't know what's inside there. I want to see if the card's in there, because if it is, we're going to have a celebration. And if it isn't, we're still going to party. But, you know, I mean, it's just going to be a little more subdued.
Yeah.
So from my friend Tony and myself, thanks a lot for tuning in.
For sure.
Make sure to check out more episodes. We're going to be doing stuff live at cons too. That'll all be coming up. And again, I guess we'll see you next time. See you guys.